I think he's the best of all time.
He's the greatest player.
The Australian Open semifinals delivered pure tennis drama, but one match stood above everything else. Novak Djokovic versus Jannik Sinner. And from the very first point, it was clear this was not going to be a routine semifinal. Jannik Sinner came in as the defending champion, confident, aggressive, and playing some of the best tennis of his career. Novak Djokovic, at 38 years old, arrived chasing history once again, with questions surrounding his form, his body, and whether time had finally caught up with him. He managed to overcome everything and beat the defending champion. And after this win, he had a message for his haters.
You know, Sinner, who has been playing best tennis of his life in the last couple of years, particularly here, two-time defending champion, doesn't get better than this. I mean, honestly, when I started my preparations for the new season and kind of set the goals, and it becomes, I guess, more difficult for me to like motivate myself, and I ask myself questions, you know, what is it that I'm looking for from myself? And I was imagining really playing against Jannik and Carlos at the final stages of Grand Slams this year and battling it out and really give it all that I have. So very fortunate to already get it in the first slam of the year. I've never stopped believing in myself, you know. There's a lot of people that doubt me, and I see there's a lot of experts all of a sudden that wanted to retire me or have retired me many times the last couple of years. But I want to thank them all because they gave me strength, you know. They gave me motivation to prove them wrong, which I have tonight. And for me, it's not a surprise, to be honest. You know, I know what I'm capable of. So I've had many times in my career matches during the Grand Slam where it's just one of those days where you're not feeling your best and you try to find a way to win with everything that you possibly have, even though the quality of tennis is not even close to where you want it to be. For me, I think also obviously for Carlos, because of his age and everything that he was able to achieve so far. History is on the line for both of us every time we play. I mean, the finals of Grand Slam, you know, there's a lot at stake, but no different from any other big match that I play. I won against him last year here, you know, also in a grueling match. So let's see how you know, fresh are we both able to be. You know, he also had a big match, but you know, he's got about 16 years on me, so you know, biologically I think it's going to be a bit easier for him to recover. But yeah, I look forward to it. You know, look, I play tennis competitively mainly to be able to reach the finals of Grand Slam, you know, and here I am, so I cannot complain about anything. You know, I'm just trying to enjoy the moment that I'm experiencing tonight. I'll think about the finals later, but you know, for me this is win that almost equals winning a Grand Slam.
During his press conference after the match, Sinner said something you don't hear from many players these days. He called Djokovic the greatest player ever.
You know, he's won 24 Grand Slams, and you know, we know each other very well, how we play. So he's the greatest player, you know, for many years, and of course he's playing less tournaments because of his age and everything. But we also know how important Grand Slams are for me, for him, for Carlos, and everyone. So there is, you know, this small like extra motivation, and he played great tennis, and hopefully I can see some, you know, take it also kind of as a lesson maybe, you know, to see what I can improve on.
One former player was amazed by how Djokovic played this match. He could not hide his excitement.
Is this the greatest semifinal day ever? Like, you asked that question, and I'm thinking through the greatest day ever for comparison means it's one of the greatest days ever. Mm-hmm. Absurd. I mean, we're going to start with Novak because we just watched it, and I feel actual adrenaline in my body. Count out the greats at your own peril. There's going to be a lot of conversation around, can he do this if he would have had the load of matches coming in? If he would have had, who cares? All I know is that Musetti and Menchik have nothing to do with what we just saw in a silo for a given match. Novak managing his way through that match, and we were all watching it together, so feel free to pitch in as we're watching, but like his ability to manage a match, invest in long rallies when he needs to, when his legs aren't there, the pacing with which he can get through matches is unbelievable. And especially at an extended age, you see him making those trade-offs more often, which means his margin for victory is way smaller, right? He has to thread the needle on first serves bailing him out, on shortening the points when it's between critical moments. And that, I mean, like 30 all on Jannik's serve, he's not just going to go for a winner. He has to have the legs to invest in those moments. I don't know that anyone's ever managed matches better than Novak. Like, even when the crowd says something, and this is a skill, so this is not a criticism, this is an absolute skill. We all do it. if he's struggling and a Fang whistles, you don't get penalized for stepping off.
Okay.
Because it's like a crowd interaction. So Novak stepping off to get another 15 seconds of air is experience, a skill.
Gamemanship.
It might be the difference with making a first serve in this moment. It's in the rules. It's what you should do at that moment. He does it all of those little points of maybe I can grasp 2% here. If I go aggressive and throw away these 2 points, it's like the Pete thing. If throw away these 2 points, then I'll have my legs for the serve in the next game. He's up 5-3 in the fifth. Sean asked some version of, is he really going to dial into breaking here?
Yep.
And he's like 15 love. I go, less likely. I go, if it's 30 love, he's taking the first ball. I go, we're not going to see a rally go past 6 balls. Like that is not the most obvious way for him to win on a percentage basis at that moment is to not invest in trying to come back from love 30 down because what is there a 2% chance of that happening? And it is in saving my legs to make first serves in the last game and being able to invest in those last couple points. That's not tanking. That's not less than effort. That's a business decision. 100% that's what it is. I don't know. Does he have the legs if he plays 5 sets? Who cares? I don't know. All I know is that we just witnessed greatness again. You beat Sinner, who's been dominant, 2-time defending champion. He's basically you from 10 years ago with his hardcourt record and what he does to people. And when the moments get big, the ability to clamp down and control the middle of the court and feed the ball to the middle and just say, you know what, you're going to have to beat me without me providing you with an angle and from below your hips. Under pressure, we always say lockdown Novak, lockdown Novak. That's what it is. It's like if you can beat me from the toughest place on the court to create damage, too good. And I've never seen someone so comfortable in that scenario when you're playing someone like a Sinner who's quickly he's going to be an all-time great. Like imagine doing that at 30 years old versus someone we're going to look back on and say this guy won 10 majors, Borg won 11 majors, Sinner might win 20 majors. I don't know. He's going to be an all-time great. He's already there. Like he's won more majors than Murray. He's won more, he's Courier. He's there. To do this at 38 years old,
14-year age gap.
If anyone asks Novak about retirement in the next 6 months, they should be fired. Sinner's going to hit more aces than Novak. He has more pace on his first serve than Novak. But the total points is deceiving because is Sinner having to manage, throwaway games like Novak? Probably not. So Novak doesn't care about total points. He cares about getting that one break and fucking white knuckling it to the finish line, which is what he did. I mean, it's like he picks these moments where most of us just have this massive anxiety all the time and it comes out as it comes out. It's almost like he picks his moments, explodes to familiar faces, and then is able to bring it back in. I think he's the best of all time, obviously just at winning and tennis and the whole thing, but managing matches. I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but Novak basically, Sinner hits one up the line and Novak thought it might have gone out, but he kind of almost went like this, for sure it's going out. And you could see Sinner looking, and then Novak quickly took a cross court for the winner. This is a skill developed over these titanic battles for 20 years. And you're watching it and it's still good enough to beat the best players on earth. Sometimes. I don't know if I thought he could beat these guys in 3 out of 5. Novak didn't either. He said it after the U.S. Open last year. Now, can he beat him back-to-back? That's another whole thing. I don't even want to preview the men's final today, and I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Because it would be too quick to move on from what we just saw.